everyone. Welcome back to the Goofy Guy podcast.
Woohoo!
Yes, we are back. It has been a long time. I had to take some time off for personal reasons, but I am back. I am Jim Spangler, the Goofy Guy, your host, and my mission is to help you make planning your Disney vacation easier. Yes, that's it. And maybe laugh along the way. Have a good time. I don't know. This episode is for, I'm just going to tell you what day we're recording because I have no idea what day it's going to come out. This is episode for November 8th, 2023. It is episode 157.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm a little scared. I was thinking I probably should go back and listen to those early podcasts. But I don't
just hear what it sounds like, just to reminisce.
Yeah. I'm sure Julie and I were quite the pair. One of my dearest friends. So that voice that you hear, if you're not watching us, is one of my other dearest friends, Miss Mandy Corral. Hey, Mandy.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, I'm excellent. I'm thrilled to be back chatting with you, and yeah, it's crazy.
Thrilled to be doing Disney gossip.
Yes, the last time I think we recorded was like back in May or June or something.
It was right after I got back from Disneyland.
Okay.
Because you remember I talked about the fact that I feel like I didn't pay a whole lot of attention.
Right. That's right. Yeah,
I had more fun with my friend. It was more being present with my friend than it was the whole Disneyland thing.
Right, for sure.
Which is really funny because I just posted a TikTok today about Disneyland and about Disney adults going to Disneyland.
I saw that.
Yes, it's very good. It was actually a what do they call it? It was a
duet.
A duet, yeah. You need to go out and check it out if you haven't. The Goofy Guy blog on TikTok. It's very funny because she is spot on. I mean, she is right on. It made me laugh. But that's the last time we talked, and that's been a long time ago.
Long time.
A lot has transpired since then.
Yes.
Not only in our lives, but in Disney. And I was putting together this podcast thinking, what are we going to talk about? There's so much that we could talk about.
That's very true. How do you narrow it down? I don't even know.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we've both been to Disney World since the last time we recorded. We have,
and that's probably what we should talk about today.
Yeah.
And compare notes. Because I know that you had some different experiences that I did not.
Yes.
Because we have personally talked since then.
Yeah.
And I just got back.
Right.
Not this past week, but the week before, end of October. And so we should definitely talk about that. I think that's probably a good thing to talk about today because we're gonna, by doing that, we'll cover some things that people need to know.
For sure.
But first, let's talk about some news. I just want to hit some high points of things that have happened over the past 2 months or so, 3 months, because some things have changed. Nothing major, nothing that is like earth shattering by any means.
Right.
One of the things is that, do you remember the Disney Vacation Club resort called Reflections that was going to go into Fort Wilderness, basically? Yes. Yeah. So Disney has extended the permit to build that. Now, I find it very interesting, especially since they basically took that building and put it over at the Polynesian.
Yes.
But they are changing a lot of the cabins at Fort Wilderness into DVC.
That's right. Yes.
Cabins.
DVC cabins.
Now, there are 400 cabins at Fort Wilderness, which is a lot.
Yeah.
I doubt they will change all 400.
No, there's no way. They will do like a section of cabins and jazz them up and
I think
elevate
so too.
them.
My guess is they'll do 100, 150 probably.
I think that's a
and
safe
then they'll
bet.
sell those because that's a lot of cabins for them.
Yeah, there's no way. Well, they won't. I don't think they'd use them. I mean, frankly, like if I was a DVC member and I'm not, I wouldn't be getting a cabin. I would want to
go there
to
in a heartbeat.
You would?
I would go there in a heartbeat.
Really? Yeah.
I love that place. But you don't go there for the same reasons that you go to Bay Lake Tower or to Polynesian. Right. It's a completely different vibe, completely different feel. So yes, I would absolutely go there. and cabins are expensive there. They're
Right.
not cheap. But they are air conditioned. Yay.
Yeah.
So if you're not renting an RV or taking an RV,
Right.
but I yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I know
Mhm.
they've already started tearing down some of the cabins. They've already
Yeah.
started doing the process. So
Mhm.
I'm just curious about what's gonna take place and what they're gonna look like and how it's gonna end up being sold. Um,
Marketed, how it's gonna be kind of framed like this is it's Fort Wilderness, but fancy.
that's exactly right. And
Yes.
I'm not sure that
Glamping.
Fort Wilderness people want glam.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that they would if the people that are staying at Fort Wilderness are not there for the, like, the luxury, the, like, they're not the same people that are and that again, this is, like, no
No, it's
judgment.
not.
This is
No,
just this is just, like, what people look for at a vacation, right? I
that's right.
mean, they're
Well,
not the same people staying at the Contemporary or the Grand Floridian or something like that.
not in the
They're just not.
slightest, not in the slightest, and they're not looking for the same things,
They
and they're
don't
not
even want
looking
the
for the
same thing, right.
no, they do not at all, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens. I I would say maybe they start with 100 and
Mhm.
then
Test the
maybe
waters,
expand. It gives them the chance to expand if they want to,
right.
and if yeah, I it's just gonna be interesting,
Yeah.
and honestly, I I'm not sure I would use my points for that.
No. And that's
Um
what I think that, like, if I'm gonna use
I can
points
rent a space and rent an RV for cheaper.
cheaper. Yep. If I'm gonna use the points, it would be for a resort, for sure.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen with it.
We'll see how it
Uh,
plays out.
we'll see how it plays out, but I do find it interesting that they're still hanging on to Reflections.
Yeah.
And
It's almost like out of spite. You know
it
what I
is.
mean?
So, when I was at, we'll talk a little bit about this now. When I stayed at Bay Lake Towers because that's one of my home resorts,
Mhm.
and I love Bay Lake Tower. Um And they now have brought back the boat that goes to, the Wilderness
Oh,
Lodge
yeah.
and Fort Wilderness. So, because they
Both of
didn't
them.
have that for years, since
Mhm.
COVID, it had
Yeah.
been gone. Well, they finally brought it back, so I was like, "Well, I wanna go to Fort Wilderness." I grew up going to Fort Wilderness.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, "I need to go back and just like, all the nostalgia. I need it all. Give it all to
Absolutely.
me, right? Give me the
Yeah.
nostalgia." And uh, they have not the construction is still there.
Oh,
Like, they cleared the land and stuff, and it's
right.
still there, and it's still blocked off.
Mm,
It's
okay.
almost like somebody just hit the pause button
Sure.
on it.
And they're just gonna like, nothing's changed. Everything's fine. We're gonna just
Right.
keep it
It's
on.
very interesting. It'll be interesting to kind of follow and see what's gonna happen. So,
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting piece of news that was worthy of, you know,
Mentioning. Yeah,
mentioning,
for sure.
definitely. Another piece of news is, Genie Plus. So, we all know what Genie Plus is, and um, now I think by now we do. If we don't, it's where you reserve a time to get on a ride, and you have to
Mhm,
pay for that right. You get up in the morning at 7 o'clock or at midnight the night before, whatever.
mhm,
You buy Genie Plus for the day, and then you can reserve times. It's like Fast Pass used
mhm.
to be, right? And Fast Pass Plus.
Yeah.
So they've done two things. We're going to talk about two different things. One is that they have now done a park-based Genie Plus pricing.
Right.
So that means that the price, first of all, Genie Plus is adjustable pricing anyway.
Every
It's
day. Yeah.
every day changes depending on what the crowds are.
Mhm,
And now it's park based also. So like the most expensive is the Magic Kingdom. Always,
mhm.
every day, it's always the most expensive.
Yeah.
And so like you may pay $28 for the Magic Kingdom and only $20 for Animal Kingdom.
$28. I thought the max was 25. Did they
Isn't it
increase the
crazy? Oh
price?
no, yeah, it's gone up, and here's why. We're not
Bro.
done with this conversation yet.
Oh my god.
So, um, so that is Genie Plus. Now, if you want to park hop now,
Yeah, I did know about this.
you have to buy the park hopping option of Genie Plus,
Mhm.
which happens to be almost always the same price as the Magic Kingdom.
So stupid. It's so dumb.
Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. I just don't understand it.
The
And
thing that gets me is just the way it's so it's not they're not masking the fact that they're gouging you. Like they're not trying to make it like they're not trying to downplay it. They're not trying to make excuses for it. It's just like, no, give us more money.
And I'm going to say, if I have said this once, I've said it 100 times, and I'm going to say it again. Just do what Universal Studios did. Just make a pass that you pay $100, $150 for 2 parks, whatever the price is.
Yep.
And you can jump to the front of the line.
People will pay it.
Completely.
I
And
would
you
pay
can
it.
limit the number that you sell.
Yes.
So, and they say they limit the number of Genie Plus. I do believe they do limit that because you may not be able to get it depending on how crowded the park is. But if you're trying to control that,
right,
you're going to make more money. Your guests are going to be happier because not only are the guests that are willing to pay that money going to get to jump to the front of the line, your standby line is going to move faster because there are fewer people jumping to the front of the line. So, I mean, to me, it's a win-win. I'm not sure why they keep fooling themselves into thinking that this is the way to do this.
I think they think that their guests are they see a smaller price tag than $150, and so they're going to make more money because the guests see the smaller price tag. So they'll keep purchasing, right? Because that's kind of their MO, right? It's like,
that makes sense.
It's just, and like, but like, it's the same way that when you purchase your ticket, it's like, oh, you can pay in installments. You can pay like a little tiny bit of money. It's like, because to the average person, you know, when you see, oh, it's only a $200 deposit to go to Disney, I could pay $200 and go to Disney. Like, no, you're not paying $200, but it's a small amount right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, wait till 60 days before.
Exactly. And they're banking on that.
So we said that bill.
Right. They're banking on that mentality that it's like, oh, it's just a tiny bit. Oh, it's just a tiny bit.
I do think that is true. But I like the way that Universal does their system. You can make the choice, and you have the choice of you can jump to the front of the line once for each of the rides, or as many times as you want, and that's 2 different prices, right? Because obviously, if you want to jump, just because you could ride Raptor, you know, over and over and over and over and over again, but you're going to pay a ton of money,
like $500,
right, to do it,
right?
But that's fair.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
I agree.
So I've had issues with Genie Plus from the beginning. I still have some issues with Genie Plus. I know they're trying to work it out. I know they're trying to make it better. I know I've heard things I can't talk about right now, but I've heard through the pipeline some other things that are happening. Well, one thing I can talk about because they have released, and this is the other thing with Genie Plus, is starting in 2024. I think actually January 9th, which is when they're starting everything. I don't know what that's about, but you're going to be able to schedule Genie Plus reservations in advance. They haven't, and they may not have actually given the date on that.
Well, that'll be nice.
But it'll be like FastPass Plus again.
Yeah.
So we've just... It's just FastPass Plus again.
We've come full circle.
And we've come full circle. Now, I think that is not going to be for everyone. I believe that is for Deluxe Resort and DVC Resort, which are all Deluxe Resorts. I don't know why they differentiate that.
Yeah.
But I think that is what that's going to be for. I don't believe that everybody's going to be able to schedule that way. But the full detail has not completely been released. It's just been brought up that that's what's happening.
Interesting.
So we're going back now. We're just paying for FastPass Plus.
And you know what? People will do it. We'll do it. People
completely.
Will do it. I'll do it.
Completely.
You know how much money I spent on Genie Plus when I was there?
Oh yeah, and those stupid individual lightning lanes. Oh my God, I know. I was just there. I know. Yeah, no, it's it's one of the reasons that for a year and a half I didn't go because I was so angry with them. Yeah. It's the reason I canceled that trip. But so that is happening. So they now have multiple pricing, variable pricing that you have to check each day. They've always had that, but now depending on the park that you're going to. My piece of advice is if you're going to Animal Kingdom or Epcot, do not buy it.
Yeah, you don't need it.
You don't need it.
Unless you're like deadly set on not having to wait in line for Frozen
That's
Ever
exactly for Frozen Ever. That's exactly right. Just don't do it. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
And definitely not Animal Kingdom. You can do everything
No.
in Animal Kingdom without it
Yeah.
easily.
Yes.
Easily. So don't do it for Animal Kingdom either. So okay, well there you go. That's a genie. Some people are saying that they're improving it with that. I don't know that I agree with that. Oh yeah, here's the thing. Pre-trip park. No, that's not it. Oh, drones. Let's talk about drones.
Oh
Nighttime shows.
yes.
Drones.
I forgot about the drones.
Yeah. So
How have they not done this yet?
well, they did. Back in 2016, they did. They did it over the lake at Disney Springs.
Did they?
They did.
Oh.
I know because I was there.
Okay.
And they had a small drone show.
Okay.
And it was only like 5 minutes long.
Sure.
It was amazing. It was incredible, even back then, even 7 years ago. Paris has had drones for a few years now, and it's spectacular. It's so cool what they're doing with their drones, right? And drone batteries are now lasting longer. And so word is that is coming to the
world. As it should. We drove underneath.
It's actually going to come to Disneyland first because Disneyland has issues with their fireworks and the locals around it. So it's going to Disneyland first, but
we drove underneath a drone show. We didn't even realize. We were like, what is that at the Lincoln Park Zoo?
Oh, nice.
We literally drove past it on Lakeshore Drive and we looked up and it was like this huge like tower of lights.
That's so awesome.
We were like, what?
I should have been smart 5 years ago, 7 years ago, and bought like 1,000 drones and started my own business.
Just
right?
Done your own business.
Just done my own business.
Drone shows. Drone shows by Jim.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Goofy Guy Productions presents. Why not? Why not? People do fireworks shows that way.
True.
Why not? So that's a big happening. Not much talk about with it, but just a big happening. Universal Studios. This is a Universal Studios things, but there is a reason I'm bringing it up. Universal Studios is expanding their use of facial identification for entrance into their parks. So Epic Universe will use this.
Yes.
They've already said this is what they're using. Instead of a fingerprint or a finger biometric, they're using your facial biometrics. And they have been testing it at Universal Studios. Not at Universal Studios, actually at Islands of Adventure. They've been testing it. And the word is that they will keep I forget how long. I want to say 60 days after the pass expires that you used, they'll keep the biometric information. So that the next time you go, you would have to be re-scanned, which is fine. The reason I bring this up is that not a lot of people know this, but Disney has one of the most sophisticated facial recognition programs in the world.
Indeed. Yes.
And they're upgrading it constantly. I often hear people say, well, how can they ban somebody for life? How can they know that that's who it is?
Because you've got a camera pointed at your face literally the entire time.
All the time. How many times have we heard cast members talk about, if you don't think that we can see you on the ride, you're wrong.
Yeah. It's like that guy that jumped into the gondola the other day at Epcot you saw that, right?
That jumped into the water?
Yeah. In Venice in Epcot. And he jumped into the gondola and out. And then it was like, because how I have all the security guards that one of the reasons that they closed River Country? Do you know one of the reasons? This is true. There was a brain-eating kid get the bacteria?
A brain-eating bacteria.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to jump in that water.
I don't know why you would do that. But it was so funny because people were recording him and he thought he'd gotten away with it.
Oh, and cheering him on.
They got all these cameras on him, right? They're filming. And then you see all the Disney security that are, because, they dress like guests. They just wander around the park like all the time dressed like guests. And it was like a flash mob. They all just like They all
I
just
haven't
like,
seen that much of
oh,
it.
it's it
I've
w
only seen the part where he jumps. I
oh,
haven't
no.
seen the other
There
part. I'll
was
have to
somebody
look
who
at
was
it.
like, the security's coming in, and they all were, like, in their normal street clothes, like, talking on their walkie-talkies. It
I
was
love it. That's
so
so
funny. It
brilliant.
was
That's so
hilarious.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, their facial recognition software is insane,
Yeah.
and so that's why you can't that's why if you get trespassed at Disney, it's what they
Mhm.
call it, trespassing you,
Yeah.
you're done.
Yeah.
Because even if you try to get back in, so you may get through the initial gate,
Mhm.
but there will be somebody standing on the other side waiting for you.
Yes. Yeah.
It's that fast, that good,
Mhm.
and especially if you've been trespassed, there aren't a
Oh,
whole lot of
yeah.
people that have been trespassed, so
No.
you're gonna get caught pretty quick.
Yeah.
Let's just say even that there have been 10,000 people trespassed. That's for a computer, that's
That's
nothing.
next to nothing. Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
nothing.
Mhm.
So if I can write an if then statement, have it go through 10,000 times, it doesn't even take 2 seconds. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But I'm thinking that Disney will head this direction,
Mhm.
honestly.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they will.
I don't know why they don't I don't know why they aren't jumping on it now because they already have the technology.
They do.
And Universal already had the technology
I
too.
think they're
Let's not be fooling ourselves. Universal's facial recognition, I'm sure, is just as good.
just as good. You know what? And I think it's just like a we have bigger fish to fry situation right
Yeah,
now.
I
I
think
think
and they do.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
do. They got a big hole in the middle of Epcot they gotta do
They
something
really
about.
do.
I love did you see the pictures of them
Yes.
that they moved the walls in?
Mhm.
And people were all excited that they moved the walls in. I was like,
Wow.
"Oh my god." And so then they showed the sidewalk. Did you look at that sidewalk?
No.
Okay,
That's
you need to go back and look at the tiling on that sidewalk. I am telling you. So now this comes from my mom having been in a chair, right?
okay.
So one of the reasons she loved Animal Kingdom, but it was so hard on her because of the cobblestones. So much
Okay.
cobblestone in Animal Kingdom. You don't even realize it when, as a walker, you're walking, but it's really rough. It's really hard. When I ran the marathon, that's the hardest section to run because it's so uneven and stuff. Well, you need to look at the tiling that they're using in that area. I was like, people are going to trip over it. I
See,
mean,
all
no
that's coming
question.
up are those, like, old school fiber optic sidewalks. I miss those.
It's it
Oh
has
my
it is it's crazy. I was like, and granted, I only saw a picture of it. I haven't seen it in person,
I see. Okay.
but
Oh,
I
I
was
see. I see, I
I
see, I see.
it concerns me. And as somebody that
Yeah.
had somebody that was in a wheelchair,
Oh,
that's not going to be
wow.
fun. That's not going to be comfortable. Do
It's
you see what I'm
pretty.
talking about?
Yeah,
It's
it's
pretty, it's
pretty.
beautiful, but it's knobby and it's got holes in it, and it's like
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what happens with it. And that
Yeah.
may be it may not be finished, right?
Right.
But I just I don't know. I'm a
Yeah.
little concerned about it. Okay,
Yeah.
we've gone way off track.
Sorry.
We're 30 minutes into this podcast, and
Let's
we've
we
already
got
gone
this.
way off track. Yeah,
It's
we gone way
okay.
off track. Uh, I think that might be. Is that my last piece? Uh, oh, I found a great article on allears.net. If you don't ever visit allears.net, please do. It is one of the OG
So I was gonna say it's like the
Disney
OG.
websites. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. That and Mice Chat are the two
Mhm.
OG. And they said 7 things we're begging Disney World to bring to the new Animal Kingdom expansion. So
Mhm.
that's part of the reason I brought this up is because of the Animal Kingdom
Mhm.
expansion. What they're doing is they're basically getting rid of Dino Land and they're making it South America.
Mhm.
South Central America.
Central, yeah. We've
Yeah, it's
got
like a
like
weird, I don't know what they're gonna call it. It's
it's
weird.
gonna be like, yeah, it'll be Encanto and all the yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. And I think that's fine.
Yeah.
They're bringing Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
Um,
fantastic.
so I like I'm good with all of that, right?
Mhm.
That's all good. But 7 things that they thought I'm just gonna read them off. 7 things that they want to come along with that. Number 1, more animals.
Yes,
Number 2, a casita ride. So
of
if you haven't seen
course.
Encanto, there has to be a casita ride, and it
Mhm.
has to be a ride about the house, in my opinion.
Of
And
course.
I agree with them
Taking you
totally.
through all the rooms and, like,
That's
the through
exactly
the
right.
individual doors. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Isabella's garden.
Oh, yes.
Can you imagine how beautiful that would be?
Yes,
So
gorgeous.
beautiful. Yeah. Character dining, of course, they always want
Mhm.
that. And Indiana Jones bar.
There already is one.
No, not at Animal Kingdom. There's not.
I mean, at Animal
There
Kingdom.
is one. There is one
Jock
at
Lindsay's.
Disney Springs. Yeah, Jock
Hmm.
Lindsay's is at the Springs. For those of you that don't know who Jock Lindsay is, he was the very
It's the
like. How has this character lived on?
I do love it. I see
I
Jock Lindsay's. I
It's a
can tell
great bar.
you. I
It's
can
a
tell
great bar.
you that's a trip story that I have that I can tell you because I don't know
Yeah.
if, I don't want to divert from what we're talking about,
Yeah,
but
I love
we can
that.
talk
First of
about
all, I love the bar. So Jock
it. Yeah.
Lindsay is the airplane pilot at the beginning of the first Indiana Jones.
Start the
Indiana
engine,
Jones.
Jock. Start the
Start the engine! Start the engine!
engine.
There's a snake! There's a snake! Oh yeah,
That's the pet snake,
that's the
Reggie.
pet snake Reggie. I hate snakes, Jock. I hate
I
them.
know.
So, but it just makes me laugh that is all that this character is in, not in anything
But
else.
that's why it's so great because it's like the people that get the reference are gonna
Yeah,
appreciate
you're
the
right.
reference. You
You're
know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah, you're right. I know
Yeah.
you're right. It just makes me laugh every time.
Yeah.
So, an Indiana Jones bar, and then obviously the Indiana Jones Adventure Ride.
Hmm.
And I read an interesting piece about Indiana Jones Adventure Ride, and we've talked about this before. That Dinosaur is the same track. It's
Yes.
the
Oh
same
yeah.
layout.
It's a plug and play. They can just
It was a plug and play, right? But it's going to be a hard plug and play.
yeah.
They were saying that it is going to be really difficult to transition Dinosaur into Indiana Jones. So
Hmm.
it'll be interesting to see what happens with
Yeah.
that. I don't. It's the logical thing to do.
Oh, absolutely.
It's absolutely the logical thing to do. But we'll see. And God
Mhm.
knows it'll take them 25 years to get it
Oh, it's
done.
gonna
So
it'll I will have grandchildren by the time I write it. Yeah.
I am telling you. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. So that's really all that's all the big things I think that have happened. I mean, there have been some smaller things. We were talking
Yeah.
earlier about they changed their bag policy. You just can't take big coolers in now.
Sure.
They've changed their ice policy. You can't bring ice anymore into the parks.
Mhm.
You know, who knows why they changed that policy?
Right. Right. Who knows why they do a
You
lot of
know,
things?
I know why they did it. It's because of people.
Yeah.
People.
Oh,
It's the reason they change anything. It's
yes.
because people are stupid and do
Yes.
stupid things.
Yes.
So anyway, those are all the updates. Hopefully that also gives you a few little tips about what's coming on and what you should do. If you want more tips, obviously check out our past podcasts.
Mhm.
There's 156 of them,
Yep.
and we talk about everything in those podcasts.
All the things.
All the things. And even before Mandy was with me, there was a lot of news. So be aware that there's a period of time where I was way into telling the news.
Mhm.
I don't know why. People do it better than I do because they're actually on the ground, boots on the ground.
Sure.
But feel free to go back and check that out. There's a lot of great reference stuff there. Also, check out the blog site, thegoofyguy.com. A lot of great reference stuff there. A lot of new reference stuff is going to go up to help you. A lot of changes have happened. There have been some parking pricing that I need to update that just recently happened, changes. So just great information to help you plan your vacation. And just good knowledge, especially if you have no idea what you're doing, which is a lot of people. I get it.
Mhm.
Trust me, I get it. I am the exception to the rule.
Mhm.
People call me. Literally, people call me. So I had one family offer to fly me down with them
Oh wow.
to show them around. So you know, of course, now if you've been reading recently, Disney is cracking down on anybody that's getting paid to do tours of their parks that are not
Oh,
part of
are they
Disney.
really? I bet that's
Yeah,
true.
they're trespassing all of those people now.
Sure.
They have
Makes
to.
sense.
They
Yeah.
can't. I mean, that's not.
They have paid tour guides. Yeah.
They do, and a lot of those people are using illegal methods to
Of
get
course.
get their people on rides and stuff.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to give people that knowledge. But
Right.
it's a little sad. A
Yeah.
little sad. Oh, the big news thing that we didn't talk about that I so badly wanted to talk about. People are pooping.
Oh, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an emergency. People are pooping in the lines at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. Now, this is not a new happening. I have to say,
Which shocked me because
cast members say that it's been happening for a long time. So much so that the code that they used to use for when horses would poop on the path when they were like,
Code
when the
Brown. I
yeah,
don't know.
no, it's Code H
Code
actually.
H.
Code H has now turned into Code H for when people have pooped in lines.
I love
Can
that.
you imagine being the cast member that has to go clean up somebody's poop?
We got a Code H. Jerry,
Now,
you go take care of the Code H.
here's my thing, and I did this on TikTok, and I firmly believe this. What are the people doing that are watching it happen?
That's the thing. Like, what would, but
What are
like,
you doing?
but truly, Jen, like, picture yourself. Okay, picture yourself in line. You're standing in line for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and
Yeah.
you turn around, and the person behind you drops trow and starts taking a dump. What do you do? What do you do in that moment?
I'm screaming my head off. I'm going, what? Excuse my language, everybody. Here's if you don't want to hear this language. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
So I don't honestly, Jim.
So Julie said it's the bystander syndrome, right? You're a bystander.
I wouldn't know what to do. I would absolutely. I think I would go catatonic. The other day,
I'm not standing in a line where there's fresh feces.
I don't. Just to give you a frame of reference, I was at this bar down the street, Larry's, and it's attached to an apartment building. And Zach and I were sitting there at the couches in the lobby where the bar is. And this guy comes down the elevator, and as he comes down the elevator, I'm facing the elevator, and Zach's back is to the elevator. And this man steps out of the elevator, head to toe, fully naked.
Oh my God.
Just in the nude, steps out of the elevator, and Zach's got his back to him, and I'm going like this, and my face just goes.
For ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that can't see, it is the wide eye, open mouth, gaping mouth look.
And I just started like stammering, and I think Zach thought that I was having a stroke because he was like, "What? Are you?" Because it was mid-sentence.
What was happening? What was going on there?
He came downstairs and just starts wandering like around the bar, around the lobby, like holding on to his junk.
That was a bet.
Well, no,
you lost a bet.
No. So these other girls like come down in the elevator and they see him walking around, and they've clearly been drinking. So they go, "Oh my God, is this real?" And this guy like turns on, he like walks up toward him, and this girl, she had much more like self-awareness than I did in that moment because I completely froze. And she goes, "Man, are you okay? Like, are you all right? Like, are you good?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, man, I stepped out on my apartment. I locked my keys inside."
Oh no! Of course, that would have been my guess.
So she was very nice. She went back up to her apartment, got him some clothes, came back.
Oh, that was very sweet. That was
he was
very
able
nice.
to figure himself out. So, but long story short, I fully understand that. Like, I have no idea what to do in this situation. I'm completely frozen.
Yeah, Julie's, and for those of you long listeners, you know who Julie is. Julie, my friend and partner in crime, ever since 6th grade, said it's the bystander effect.
Mm-hmm.
It's the you don't know what to do, so you don't do anything.
Yeah.
I am not going to do that though, because I don't want people pooping in line where I'm at.
No, of course not. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you see someone pooping in line, say something. You don't even have to make a big deal. Find a cast member.
Hi. Poop.
Say something.
Poop.
Yeah, poop. Code
Poop.
H.
Poop.
Code poop. So it's a big enough problem, and has been for a while, that there are restrooms in the middle of Flight of Passage.
Yeah. I use that
Indiana Jones
every time.
Yeah, I don't know if Rise of the Resistance has that or not, but they should.
Yeah, they should.
They should. Anytime you have a line that's going to be that long, you should have a bathroom in the middle of it, because
of course
I've had to leave lines in the past because I had to pee so badly that I had to leave.
Same.
You know
what? And here's the thing: as a person that I've never experienced like that, but wouldn't you just poop your pants? If it's that big of an emergency, I would
just leave.
Well,
I would leave.
But let's say like that it happens that it hits that point.
Well,
right?
And a lot of times
emergency.
And a lot of times they're saying it's little kids.
And that's fine. Little kids is a different thing. You know what I mean?
It is not fine.
No, not fine. Not fine. Not fine. Not fight. Don't
You're
misunderstand.
triggering me.
No, not. It's not like, oh, just leave it. Right? Like, no, like that's not fine. But I'm saying like it's a little kid. You're like, okay.
It's a little more understandable. I do
Yes,
agree.
yes.
I do agree with that. But
I would poop my pants before I would
that is
poop on the ground.
well, yeah, and then you can just go buy new clothes.
And then go just to the store and then throw your stuff in the garbage can.
That's exactly right. And
that-
like the poor person that has to sort through the garbage can.
and
the garbage.
And that is my strategy. Why would they need to sort through the garbage can?
If we see Mandy in line and the seas start to part around her, we know what's going on. No, well, you know they
to the Emporium.
They That's so funny. Oh my God, everybody needs to go to YouTube and watch that. That is so funny. So no, that is the clip for the beginning of the video. I'm sorry. To the Emporium. No, I just I understand accidents happen. That is not the issue here, I don't think. I just don't get it. And I would totally tell a cast member, and because I am not standing in a line where there is feces in line.
No.
And it happens more than we would like to think about. The thing about what I said, somebody going through the trash and finding your thing, they sort through all of the trash at Walt Disney World. They sort through every piece of trash because people don't recycle. And so they sort it specifically to take the recycling out. So that
though the recycling actually does anything anyway. It all ends up going to the same place.
Well, I'm not necessarily sure that's true in a Disney situation.
Yeah, Disney probably not. Yeah,
I think that because why would you spend the time, if that was the case, why would you spend the time paying somebody
for sure
to go through it? So, but there are people that's their job. Yeah. I'm sorry. I understand if you need a job that's it's a job if they pay you to do it.
If you ever find my pants, you know what happened. There's a backstory. There's a backstory there.
They're used to providing diapers and stuff. I mean, whatever. But I can't believe that was the last. I can't believe I almost forgot to bring that up.
That's the most important story, Jim.
That's the most important story of the week. It's the funniest. It's the funniest story of the week.
And you know what? Steve just walked in, and he is like the poster child for talking about pooping your pants.
Steve, do you poop your pants a lot?
He walked away. What stories I can tell you.
Yeah, okay. For those of you that don't know, he is a nurse. He's a nurse. Yeah. So there's a reason that he has lots of those stories. There is a reason. But yeah, I never thought, my 12-year-old boy just thinks it's one of the funniest things ever. My 55-year-old man, it just makes angry. I'm just that grumpy old man, right? It just makes me so mad that people have so little respect.
Oh yeah,
that's what they do for not only for themselves
and everybody else.
Yeah. I just can't imagine. I feel so bad for the poor park employees that have to clean it up.
Hopefully
they have to clean up puke all the time too.
They have like a rotation.
Yeah, people eat too much ice cream.
I was on poop duty last week.
Exactly. Well, and I had I was getting on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It was in the evening. It was late, and there was like something going on in front of the Lightning Lane line, which is right by the exit for that. And I was like, what is going on? But it was obvious that somebody had too much ice cream and then rode the ride and got off the ride and puked on their friend's shoes. Oh, so they were not only cleaning up the asphalt and stuff, they were trying to clean up her shoes.
Nah.
So, but I am so slow that it took me a bit to understand what I was looking at, what was actually going on, right? Oh, I have something to share with you.
Oh,
I said I would share
away.
This.
Yes,
I said I would share this.
Yes.
For those of you, I will try to describe this for those of you that are not watching on YouTube, which is actually the majority of people right now, I'll just tell you where you can go to see it.
Okay. I'm excited. I just see a big top of a buck. Oh my
Can you see
gosh.
it? Can you see it?
Yes.
Wait.
Stop it. That's so cute.
Isn't that adorable?
That's so cute.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I got to get this out of the way of the microphone. For those of you that don't know, Disney's 100th anniversary is happening. And so they're coming out with some of the cutest things. Not everything is cute. Some of it's really ugly. Like the stuffed Mickey and Minnie that they're trying to give away at the Disney World, which is so ugly. They're silver and the ugliest things I've ever seen. Even the cast members are like, they had to hold them. They had to hold them up the first day for the promotion. And I literally walked up and I was like, what the hell is that? And she was like, I know. She goes, I don't know what they were thinking. That came from a cast member, ladies and gentlemen.
Nameless cast member, so they do not get in trouble.
That's right. So anyway, it is a box that is made to look like an old television, and it has a diorama of Goofy on a surfboard surfing, because in the cartoon Hawaiian Holiday, which is one of my favorite Disney shorts, one of my favorite Mickey shorts, Goofy surfs, and it's a stuffed Goofy, and you can make it look like the waves are making him go up and down.
Cute.
It is it is way cute.
Yeah.
You can look at it on Amazon. It is an Amazon exclusive, actually, and there are 4 of them. Three of them are as ugly as can possibly be. I wanted Donald Duck to be cute in his, but he is not.
It's
not his fault. He's just not cute. Goofy is by far the cutest. There's a Tinkerbell that I think has a really weird face, but the fireworks behind her light up. They use LEDs and they light up.
That's
cute. So it's very cute. There's 4 of them for the Disney 100th anniversary, and what are they called? It's the I don't know what they're called. But if you look up Disney 100 Hawaiian Holiday, you'll find it. It is as cute as can be. It came today in this big box, and my wife was like, what is that? Even the box was decorated as Disney 100. So that it came in from Amazon. So it's very cute. I had to share that.
So cute. I love it.
Yeah, so cute. So cute. It's just, sometimes I see things that I'm like, I just have to have that.
Oh, no, I get that. That's why I have as many lounge flies as I have.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, I got a new lounge fly too. I got a new backpack too. I should have brought it down. So it's Goofy, obviously.
Perfect.
Because almost everything I buy is Goofy, as is evident.
Right.
Behind me.
Goofy Palooza.
I am Goofy Palooza. Anytime I get something and it's Goofy, my wife doesn't even ask me. She's just like, "Oh, that's really cute."
Yep.
No discussion of price or anything. But yeah, it really cute. They have some really cute things that they're doing. I got the Disney 100th anniversary Citizens Eco Watch. I shared that with you, Mandy, when I was over.
Cute.
It's so cute.
I love it.
The pictures do not do it justice at all. Because at first I didn't like it. When I saw it in the pictures, I was like, meh. But once I saw it in person, I was like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
There's also another Disney one, a Mickey Fantasia one that I've found that's also a Citizens Eco that's really cute. I'm gonna ask for it for Christmas though.
I was gonna say, I was like, maybe that needs to be a Christmas gift.
That's
for
Christmas because
someone.
I can't buy it. Yeah, I can't buy another watch. Yeah, I spent too much money on that watch to begin with. But I'll wear it. I'll use it. So it's just one of those things.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to share that. The Disney 100 is going on at the parks. It wasn't really going. You were still it was still 50th anniversary when you were there, right?
No, it was Disney 100.
Oh, did they go? They had changed it over.
Yep.
Yeah. It's interesting. What do you think? I find it interesting. It's very quiet.
Really quiet. Yeah, I think in comparison to the 50th anniversary, it was like you could not take 3 steps without something to do with 50th anniversary slamming you in the face. With the 100th anniversary, I mean, we barely noticed. It was like the stuff was cute. I liked like the purple merch.
Yep.
I liked, there was a pair of sweatpants that I really regret that I didn't buy because now you can't find them anywhere anymore. Like that.
Oh no.
Yeah. But It was fine. There was nothing. It was nothing special. But all like the statues and
agree.
everything, like they still stayed there for the 50th. What they did with the castle, like like to me, like that was
Yeah,
celebratory.
I'll be sharing pictures that I took. I got the castle. For those of you that don't know, the castle is really hard to photograph.
Mm,
As a professional photographer, it is. I mean, you can get a good picture of the castle. I've got beautiful pictures of the castle.
sure.
But to truly get the depth of what they do with their paint and with the light and with
Mhm.
a picture always appears flat
Yeah.
with the castle. It's always
Yeah.
flat. And I don't mean flat like not you can't tell that it's three-dimensional. I just mean flat like it doesn't sparkle.
Doesn't
It
pop.
doesn't there's
Yeah.
something about it glows. I mean, she glows.
Mhm.
She truly
Yes.
glows.
Yes.
And it's hard to catch that.
Yeah, you can't
Uh,
capture it on camera. You gotta.
It's really
And
hard.
I mean, that's coming from two people that are like they walk down Main Street and like are like, like immediately turn into
Right,
like,
exactly. It's like, oh,
yes,
yeah, it's
yes.
true. But I have to tell you, I'll be sharing some pictures on my Instagram coming up that really, I got a couple pictures of her that I was like, that's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's
And
stunner.
it took a lot of pictures to get it. A lot of
Yeah.
pictures and a lot of minor adjustments in my settings and
Mhm.
exposure to get just the right one. And I was in the golden hour. For those of
Sure.
you that don't know, that's the hour before sunset
Mhm.
or the hour after sunrise.
Mhm.
They call it the golden hour because the lighting is so beautiful at that time. And there was one or two that I got finished, and even the cast member that was standing next to me was like, "Oh, that's good,
Yeah.
that's good." So I'm excited to share some of that with
Yeah.
everybody. Yeah, that will be good. Well, listen, we have been going on now for about 45 minutes,
Yeah.
a little bit longer. I know we didn't talk about anything to help anybody except maybe some news items.
That's okay.
But we just
I
needed to
think we
catch
had
up.
we had to accept that was probably going to happen. It's
I
okay.
knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I kind of knew.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
we kind of. I mean, we had to talk about poop.
Of course.
You know, come on.
Priorities.
Priorities. That's
Yes.
exactly right. Priorities. So, hey, be sure to reach out and let us know what you think. Think about some of the things that we talked about. What would you do if you saw somebody pooping in line? Would you say something? Would you just let it go?
Would
What
you
would you
run
do?
away?
Would you run away? That's actually a good option.
Yeah.
Depending on how long you've been standing in line. Also, anything else that we've talked about? What about the variable pricing that they're using for Genie Plus now for the different
Mhm.
parks? What do you think about that? And that if you want to use Genie Plus at different parks, you have to pay
Mhm.
a specific price to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think. We would love to hear from you, or maybe topics, something that you want us to talk about, something you want
Yeah.
us to cover, something you want us to research for you because you don't know, or you're curious, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
We love doing that, and we obviously love talking about it. So
Yeah.
please do that. You can find me. You can get a hold of me, Jim@thegoofyguy.com. You can find me at thegoofyguy.com on Instagram, Instagram,
Instagram.
on the Instagram. On the Insta, you can find me at the Goofy Guy blog. I'm also the Goofy Guy blog. Well, I don't use Twitter anymore, or X, or whatever it is. So don't bother looking there. But you can find me on Facebook. I will be honest, I am never on Facebook anymore. I'm always on Instagram. I'm never on Facebook. As a matter of fact, I had a friend that posted something that they wanted their friends to respond to, and then she texted me. She was like, "I know you're not on Facebook, so I'm going to ask you here."
Yeah.
I was like, probably a good choice if you wanted. I check it about once a week. Is about how often I'm on Facebook. And all the socials. I'm there. You can find me on Mastedon, thegoofyguy.social.lol. And that also will give you all of my social things. So just Google the Goofy Guy. That's the easiest. Just Google the Goofy Guy and you'll find me. So
Awesome.
It's lots of fun. Lots of fun happening. Hey, Mandy, where can they find you?
Just reach out on Instagram, MANDEYE17 Mandi.
She is on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. She doesn't
I
post.
am.
She is there.
I am.
She is there. But she doesn't post.
I think I've posted like 2 things in my life. So.
Yeah. So don't. Her brother is prolific.
Yes.
On it, but
she is not.
Not Mandy.
Yeah.
Not Mandy.
Yes.
So thanks again for joining us. Hope you had some good laughs today. Please rate us on iTunes, on Apple Podcast, whatever it is now. Follow us if you're following us on YouTube, check us out there, or make sure you like and subscribe there. We're going to start putting out more of these. I haven't decided if it's going to be weekly or bi-weekly. Honestly, there's a lot of things changing in the Goofy Guy. But all of it good, I can promise you. I'm actually excited about what's going on now, and I'm excited to get back into it and make some things happen.
Yeah.
So with that, thanks again.
Yes.
And say goodbye, Mandy.
Goodbye, Mandy.
We'll talk to you later. Poop!